I'm with Lamar Reynolds. Lamar, welcome, I suppose, for your first official interview for the football club. How are you settling in?
Settling in really well. I mean, I've got on with pretty much all the boys like quite instantly, so I think that makes everything a lot more smoother. But yeah, just obviously it's a great opportunity to be here for a club. It's a very passionate club. You can tell by the fans. At Torquay last week especially, how loud they were. So yeah, I'm buzzing.
I was going to ask you later in the interview, but I'll ask you now since you mentioned it. You seemed a bit bemused at Torquay. Was that the sheer volume of the fans at the end of the match?
Of course, most definitely. I mean, when you go to places like that, that's considered as probably the toughest place to go, especially being a London-based club. To travel all the way to Torquay and probably should have got something from the game, arguably. And you hear the fans at full time regarding having the loss. They're screaming and shouting and obviously cheering on the boys and how well we were. Obviously, we tried hard. That's all we can give, our best. And we did on the day, and yeah, it was nice. It's mesmerising.
Tell the fans, if you would please, Lamar, how arriving here came about.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because I have seen Gav before. We haven't probably met in person, but obviously I've had friends that's played under himself, and yeah, he's obviously reached out to my agent. So I thought I would like to speak to him like face to face or personally speak to him. And as soon as we had the conversation, he kind of convinced me pretty much straight away. So I think it's important as a player, especially as a forward player, when you speak to a manager and the belief and faith that they have it within yourself, it plays a big part in how you perform. So I think he obviously said the right words, and yeah, everything he said pretty much has gone my way so far. So.
That's very interesting because I assume you had offers from several other clubs, yet you thankfully chose us. Gavin, as you've just said, clearly had a big part to play.
Of course, I'm someone that I like. I mean, it's all lovely, all going full time and playing for like a big club or a great club or whatever people want to say or chasing whatever desire. But for me, it's mainly about being happy playing. I think last year, as well as I had good spells, I had a lot that happened off the pitch. So I think it's important that this year coming around, I'm happy playing football and settling in well. And so far, it's been that. So I'm just grateful.
I was going to ask you what made you move back into non-league, and I think one of the reasons you had certain personal circumstances that made you do that. I mean, was it always the intention to leave the professional game, or can you explain that a bit further?
Not necessarily. I mean, obviously as a footballer, you always want to be full time, and obviously it's because every day is important as a footballer. You miss one day and it feels like you've missed like 2 weeks of football. So I mean, it's important that you try to stick to like the highest level or possibly the best you can for yourself. But for me, it's just wherever I feel like I'm wanted most. That I think that convinces me to obviously go.
It's a big change to go from Scottish Championship down to National League South. I mean, what was your sort of mental process with that?
Most definitely. I think as a footballer, I treat it literally the same. No matter where I've played at different levels and all over the country. And one thing I can say is I've never really treated it any different. I think it's at the end of the day, we're all men playing football. We just got to get the ball in the back of the goal. So it's just is what it is.
Just a couple more, if I may, Lamar. You'll always be, how should I put it, associated with that goal in inverted commas. You know what I'm referring to, the goal against Ipswich when you played for Maidstone in the FA Cup. How much did that raise your profile in terms of your ability and the amount of attention you might have got both from the media and from the public afterwards?
I mean, it's surprising because there's so much talent in non-league itself or just around the country where a lot of players can do stuff like that. It's just they don't really get put on the platform to do it. So for me, as much as it's obviously the best like moment of my footballing career, of course, especially to do it on that stage, it's just another day in the office for me, and obviously in the most humblest way. I mean, it's my job to go and score goals, and for me, I would do it in training, because even before that goal happened, the last 2 weeks I was doing like pretty much the same finish in training. If I'm 1v1, I do like literally the same finish, and sometimes that you replicate that and it gets into obviously the game. So.
And tell us, if you would, about your burgeoning partnership already with Tommy. How's that working out? Did you know Tommy before, and how do you think that's going to play out for the rest of the season?
You know, it's weird because I've always wanted to play in that role of having like a good partnership with another striker, and I haven't had it much as I've been like pushed out wide a little bit, or if I played up front, it's always been kind of by myself. So with me and Tommy, we just gelled really well together. I haven't met him before, but as soon as we came in, we literally touched the pitch together and we just literally gelled together so well. So it's like, it's a thing where we kind of pretty much know mostly how each other plays already, and we're only 2 games in, so
that augurs well for the season, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I think that puts us into a good perspective for the obviously season.
And just a couple more. You moved to London, if I'm not mistaken, when you were 8.
Yeah.
Do you still have affiliations with Jamaica? Can you?
Yeah, of course. I
take
still
me through
have
that.
Quite a lot of family there. I used to go every year, but obviously football is hard because the only times I normally go is like around Christmas. It's for Christmas, so I don't really have that time anymore. So I haven't been for a while. I went last year with obviously stuff that happened off the pitch because of that reason. But before that, I hadn't gone in about 15 years because obviously football is an important time around Christmas time, especially. So yeah, family's always there. I'm always on the phone to them. So still pretty much.
Do they know about Enfield Town?
Definitely. A lot of them already messaging me asking questions. Oh, you sound for Enfield, you sound for Enfield, and I'm like, how do you know this? And it's like, obviously social media is a big thing there, so
exactly
they will catch up.
Brilliant. Let's finish where we started. Obviously, as you know, we're the first fan-owned club in the country. To what extent did the ethos of the football club help you make the decision, or wasn't it until you got here that you realised quite how passionate this football club was?
Well, to be fair, it all comes from for me as a player, I like to have trust or faith within, like, well, I would want that trust and faith within, like, if it's the manager, players, fans, and from everything I've heard about the club coming in, especially about all it's just been about the fans. So for me to come in pre-season finally and eventually seeing the fans, especially after scoring the first goal, it's like I could feel that energy that everyone spoke of, and that for me is a big like thing.
And finally, have you set a target goal-wise for the season for us?
I think it's...
Or is that too much at this
stage?
No,
of course. I mean, me as a forward, I always aim for double figures. If I can at least... I think this season I've aimed a bit higher than I've had in the last couple of years, in all honesty. I feel like I'm in a great position. I'm in great shape. I'm with a great bunch of teams, so I'm aiming to try and get to the 15, 20s at least, if I can. I know I definitely can, and there's no doubt about it with the fans behind me. I know I can 100% show them a few.
Well, we'll certainly take that. Thanks very much, Lamar.
No problem.
Good to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.